Most advice about tiredness focuses on sleep habits. I want to talk about something a bit different and to give you a different way of approaching things when you're tired. We all know that sleep is really important, and I'm not going to tell you anything about what time you should be going to bed or what time you should be getting up or how much sleep to get or anything like that. What I do want to offer some help with is your thinking. Because, yes, while sleep is really important and it affects everything else, one thing that is just as important, if not more important, is our thinking. Like sleep, it affects everything else and it affects sleep as well. So, there are two strategies that I want to offer you that you can use when you're tired. And the first is to ignore your brain. So, our brains have a negativity bias. And what that means is that on any given day, our brains will come up with quite a lot of unhelpful, pretty useless, rubbish thinking. And that's normal. But then when we're tired, it does that even more. That part of the brain just has a field day. And that's because it's the default way for us to think as humans. It's a protection, a safety mechanism for our brain to be thinking negatively and looking out for danger. So it's programmed to think that way. It does it in its sleep, it does it easily. It's more difficult. It takes more effort and energy for it to think in a helpful, positive, forward looking way. So when the brain is tired, that's one of the first things that it just lets go of. So then not only are you tired, but you're also telling yourself loads of horrible things about everything going on around you, probably about yourself as well, and feeling all of the weight of that on top of the tiredness. So, what can help is to just let your brain do its thing, to acknowledge, to recognize that it's thinking that way, and that that's just what it does when it's tired. You don't have to engage with it, it doesn't have to be a problem. It's like if you're a parent, you have kids, it's the things that they say, the way that they behave when they're really tired. If they're just like they've been up really late or they're just overtired. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't, that we should ignore our kids. I'm definitely not saying that. But in my experience, you kind of know when it's just the tiredness talking. And sometimes the best thing to do is just to like let that be, not make it a big deal. It's the same thing with our brain. So that's the first thing, is to just let your brain be a tired brain like a tired child. You don't have to make that a problem. You don't have to engage with it. And then the second thing you can do is to stop telling yourself how tired you are. Because there's the fact of being tired and how that feels. And then there's how we feel when we go around all day telling ourselves that we're so tired and that it feels terrible and that it is terrible. Because every time we think a thought, that creates an emotion. So when we tell ourselves the thought, I'm so tired, and we keep doing that, it creates more and more emotion. And again, then we have the tiredness. And on top of that, we have the emotional weight created by that thinking. So try stopping. I know we all do this. I've definitely done it. It's just not helpful. So have a go at not telling yourself that you're tired, not saying to other people that you're tired, and see how that feels. Because what we're doing when we do this, we're managing our brains in this way, we're taking control and improving our experience. Here, we are allowing the negative thinking in our brain without engaging with it, just letting it be there, not making it a problem. And then we're picking out this one thought, I'm so tired, and deciding on purpose to not keep practicing and saying and thinking that thought. And what we're doing is we're just clearing away all of that emotional weight, that emotional tiredness off the top of the tiredness that's there. So we're just left with the tiredness. And then you can decide what you want to do about that tiredness. It'd be much easier for you to do that once you've cleared all that other stuff out of the way. So, as ever, I'd love to know how you get on with this. If you try it out, get in touch and let me know. And also, if you have a question or a topic that you would like to hear me do bite-sized coaching on, send me those requests as well, and I will record them for upcoming videos. I'll see you soon.